Okay, I have here Saints Row max out at 4K with HDR, and I'm gonna tell you everything that I like about the game, and that I'm gonna tell you what I don't like. So if you are enjoying the game, you have the opportunity to stop the video. So don't listen. So if you like it, don't listen to the people who don't like it. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you like the game. So yeah, I don't like to discourage people from playing the game if they are enjoying it, because that's all it matters. It matters that you like it. So let's start with the things that I really like about this game. And I have to say, this game has probably the best SDR and HDR calibration screen I've ever seen on any game on PC, because it allows you to adjust the white level, the black level, the midtones, the overall brightness of the image, the highlights, the peak brightness, everything is awesome, and that's why the HDR is so good. And it is great looking, that HDR. So you see, this is popping super hard. It looks awesome. It looks colorful. I like that a lot. SDR also. The SDR has all the options to calibrate and get the best picture quality possible. So that is fantastic. The other thing I like about the game is, in terms of performance, the game compiles the shaders before you actually start playing the game. So as a result, you see a very good frame time. So the frame time is this line I have here on the screen. These are the numbers. You see the CPU utilization, see the GPU temperature, CPU temperature, VRAM, you see the RAM here usage, and you see the frame time, which is what I'm talking about. This line here is the frame time. Let me see if I can get into the car. Oh, yeah. So the frame time is basically, I got killed. It's what indicates how stable the frame rate is, and that is so important to have a smooth experience. Okay, so it is awesome, and the game has Vulkan, DirectX 12, and DirectX 11, and it looks, it is very good performance in terms of the stability. Okay, how stable the frame rate is. So let's see what else I like. So the driving on the game is not realistic, it's not spectacular, it's not GTA 5. Okay, and I was not expecting the driving on this game to be spectacular. I've played all the Saints Row, all of them. The last one I played was the third remaster, and the driving is not especially good, but actually the driving on this game, I was surprised. I actually like it. I enjoy driving on the game. It feels responsive. I'm playing with a PS5 controller, and even at low frame rates, like you see, I'm getting below 60 consistently, below 60 frames, but it still feels responsive. And I like it. I like how it drifts. I like how the car drift, and it looks good. So I also like the colors. It is colorful, and yeah, that's everything I like about the game. Okay, so if you are enjoying the game, you just want to see the settings, how to get the best results, let me share with you that before I start talking about the bad stuff. So what I do is HDR, HGIG. I have to lower this screen brightness 3 clicks. So if your default is 50, lower it to 47. And on my case, the black level of my TV is 51. Okay, so that's why I lower it to 48. And then we have color gamut auto detect, 55 and 150. That's it. And I'm using G-Sync. And on the game, what I would do is I would lower Of course, I would turn off ray tracing altogether. It's not worth it, in my opinion, because of the hit on the frame rate. And I would lower the resolution to this 3264 by 1836, and that is an NVIDIA image scaling resolution. So I turn on image scaling on the NVIDIA control panel, and it gives me that resolution option. So in that case, the game looks, you have a higher frame rate, and the game looks sharper than with the TAA that the game comes with, because that NVIDIA image scaling has a sharpening option. So what I did is change that default 50, I changed that to 30. So that NVIDIA image scaling sharpening option, I have that on 30 instead of 50. And we have to use this TAA, otherwise you see shimmering everywhere and it's very distracting and ugly. I also like the game at least allows you to turn that anti-aliasing off for the future. You can just push AK and no anti-aliasing and get a clean image. But yeah, just put those graphics in high probably to get the best frame rate, and that's it. That's what I would do. That's how I would play to get a better frame rate. So let me talk about now what I don't like about the game, okay? So starting by that TAA, it has probably one of the worst trailing artifacts I've ever seen. During the day, you almost see 3 cars behind your own car. So at night it's not that bad, but during the day the trailing artifacts is so distracting, especially when you're driving. And if you go out of the car and you pan the camera like this, oh my god, you see like 6 characters. It's so bad. The trailing artifacts is just probably the worst I've ever seen. And it's not helping the performance. So for example, on Watch Dogs 2, if you use temporal anti-aliasing, you see trailing artifacts, but the performance is a lot better. It's because it's using reprojection of previous frames, and actually that's a boost in performance. Also in Ghost Recon Breakpoint, the same thing happens. You see trailing artifacts with that temporal injection, but the frame rate goes up. So it's a trade-off. But here the frame rate is about the same, and it doesn't look good. So it is cleaning the aliasing, but too much trailing artifacts. The second thing that I don't like about the game is the popping. Oh my god, it's popping everywhere. It's just the texture popping is, sometimes you see cars disappearing. Like I think that car just appeared in front of us. I'm not sure, but yeah, I don't know if you saw that on the horizon. Yeah, cars are appearing all the time. Cars appearing and disappearing all the time. Textures and grass, trees are all the time popping in and out of existence, and that is immersion breaking. That is terrible. That's something that at this point in gaming, that shouldn't be happening. That is immersion breaking. It's bad, just bad. So that is very bad. So the other thing I don't like, talking about the HDR and the colors, there is color banding everywhere. You see color banding on SDR and on HDR. So what is color banding? Basically, you look at the sky. During the night is much better, but you look at the sky or some cinematics, and you see bands of colors. So you don't see a smooth gradation of colors. You see like very clear bands of colors. So that's ugly, and it's everywhere. everywhere, especially during the cutscenes. The other thing I don't like about the game is the frame rate is just too low. It's too low for what is happening on the game. The game is not looking that good for the performance to be so low. I should be getting over 100 frames here. I have a 3080, 12 gigabytes, and a 5800 X3D. The frame rate is just not good enough. It is good that it is stable, but at the beginning I was showing you, max out 4K, I am consistently below 60. That's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. It's not good enough. So you see a game like, I don't know, Spider-Man, it looks a lot better than this, and I can play at 100 frames, rock solid. Of course, that has DLSS. So this game can definitely use DLSS or FSR, but still, even without any upscaling techniques, this game is not looking that good for the performance to be so low. So in terms of the game itself, to be fair, I haven't played the game a lot, and I'm not gonna play it. I'm not gonna play it because it's not good enough. I'm sure a lot of people buy this game and they're going to ask for a refund because it's not good enough. Like, for example, when you're fighting, when you are firing your weapon, the bullets, I like that they are shiny and you can see them, but they are so slow. Like, look at it. You can look at the trajectory of the bullets. They are so slow, and as a consequence, they feel unprecise. They feel super unprecise. And at the same time, you see the enemies, they move like in parallel. They move the same. The enemies, they are doing the same, and a lot of times you see 2 or 3 enemies doing exactly the same, and they are so dumb. They are so dumb. It's not good, man. It doesn't feel good. That the weapon doesn't have an impact, an interaction on the enemy. That is, it doesn't have to be realistic, but it at least be fun. It has a better interaction. So when the bullet hits the enemy, to have a better interaction, I don't know. And especially when you, for example, if you do a finish combo, it almost never works. I mean, that's one of the few combos one of the few finishes that I've ever seen that worked. Usually the collision detection is like, for example, you are doing the combo here and the enemy is somewhere else. It almost never works. Almost never. So that breaks the immersion. It breaks it big time. So yeah, basically we are shooting on this game all the time. I don't like that the game is all about go here, shoot these people, then go here, rob this car, shoot these people. And when you shoot, it doesn't feel fun. So shooting should be, it should be better. I don't know, it should be better. It should feel better. So the other thing I don't like is how the character moves. So the animations are very generic and static. Yeah, I do like this over the shoulder aim. I do like that. But yeah, basically we are shooting all the time. The shooting is not very good for what I like. And we are driving a lot. The driving is not spectacular. So the cutscenes are fun. They are sometimes hilarious, or they try to be spectacular. So I can definitely enjoy people and understand people enjoying this game. And if you liked it, go for it. I actually played all the previous Saints Row games, and this is probably the only one I'm not gonna play, to be honest, because I just don't like it. Maybe it's because I grew up already. But I remember I was playing the remaster, the third. I didn't beat the game again because I remember beating the game, so I didn't beat it, but I was enjoying it. Probably better than this. I think it looks even better. maybe watch a comparison online. People, I'm sure they're doing that comparison. That game is looking better than this, to be honest. Maybe not complexity wise, it's not more complex, but it might be looking better. So yeah, that's my opinion. That's what I think. The game doesn't look spectacular. A lot of popping, terrible anti-aliasing, color banding, bad performance in terms of how high the frame rate is. So yeah, an amazing HDR. It's not gonna save the game for me. It's too generic to go here, go there. And to be honest, what I really like is just From Software games, and technically they are very bad, very bad. Aside from Sekiro, which, well, I can still say is very bad because it was locked to 60 frames. But aside from that, it was good. But the rest of the From Software games are horrendous when it comes to graphics and performance. Are probably one of the worst games, and that's what I like. So that's what I play. So I'm criticizing this game technically, and the games that I like are horrendous, technically. And for example, I'm liking a lot, Thymesia. This new game that just came out, Thymesia, is like Sekiro. That game is awesome, in my opinion. I'm just in love with that game. And technically, it is not good. The performance, it is not good for what you're seeing on the screen. And it has a lot of defects. You can even say that game is mediocre. Of course, it is a small studio. But I don't care about that because the combat system is just insane. It's, in my opinion, the best combat system ever. So sometimes that happens. This game doesn't have anything that attracts me, but maybe it does have something that you like. So you might want to play the game just because of that, and nothing else matters. So for me, Thymesia has the best combat system ever. That's why I'm playing the game. I don't care about anything else. I love the combat. I don't care that technically the game is very, very, very low. So low quality, So that's it. You see also, when you're turning, the character is like shaking, the animation. Let's see if I can show that. Yeah, I don't like it. Well, that's it. Let me know what you think, and if you like the game.